with us having the time
Yeah,
of his
shout out
life.
Noah.
He's
Shout
having a
out
good
Noah.
time. But we're back again, season 8. Can you believe it already? Or season 3, episode 8 now.
Not really. No.
Time is flying, really.
Not much belief. It's kind of
Okay.
crazy.
Dude, that's crazy. You know what? We're already on 3 seasons. We're clearly doing something right.
Hmm.
Now, with the season officially over for the entire NFL, and not just us this time, thankfully,
Yeah.
the Seattle Seahawks, I said Supersonics, are coming back too.
Oh
The
God.
Seattle Seahawks officially won the Super Bowl. Now, it's considered, as people say, the dark times, the countless time frame where there's nothing out, there's nothing to watch, right?
Hmm.
All the bland stuff is out. But, here on Breakdown Breakdown, we are not one of those. We always have content. We always have something to publish. We got the combine, we got the draft, we got
Hmm.
everything going on in the right, Ronan?
Yeah.
We got everything
Totally.
going on, man.
Until we start doing LinkedIn or Interpol
Okay,
on this
no more.
show.
Yeah, bear down, breakdown episode of that. No more.
Oh, that
We
could
behave
be.
well on here,
We
at
could
least
be
on
in the future.
Fridays. But we do have various events coming up, like the combine and free agency. But we also have rumors, and with rumors, of course, comes with speculation, potential trade packages, and of the sorts. And definitely want to have something in the future where we have a segment of, what would we give up or bringing other people on. But for sure, next Friday or the after that, we're gonna have Noah on and potential our boy Nick Rhodey. Ain't that right?
Yeah, no, we've been in talks. We gotta follow up a little bit.
I got to bring him back. I have a
Of our,
segment for him that I want to bring him on with, especially speculation about certain players or what we should do. So I'd be happy to bring him on. But I said let's kick it off right here,
let's
the
do it.
Brisker talk. So we know he's a fan favorite. We like Brisker. He had a phenomenal playoff game against the Rams, but of course there comes a little bit of skepticism. God, I can't speak today.
Oh God.
With resigning him, and that of course is because of his concussion history. We know what comes with him. He's had a couple in high school, a couple at Penn State, and now he's had various here in Chicago, right? And of course, that comes with his occasional poor tackling, his coverage, and the occasional, heated moments where he likes to get in problems and fight. You know exactly what I'm talking about too.
Yeah, his brain is just like cottage cheese at this
Yeah,
point, but I mean, he's a fan favorite for a reason, so
he brings the energy, man. He
can't
embodies
I
Chicago.
can't knock him.
Yeah, no, you can't. I mean, you know what? He could have given up a long time ago, and he's still rolling for us. So,
Hmm.
Ronan, what should the Bears do? We talked about it briefly, but I really want to dive deep into this. What do you want to see the Bears do? Should we resign him? Should we maybe franchise tag him because that does start next week? Do you want to see some sort of short-term deal, a prove-it deal? Because cap right now is the problem. We know this. What do you want to see the Bears do?
I would love to see them get him on a short-term deal just to have him prove it, make sure like, hey man, are you fit to play the next couple of
'Cause we
years?
know his talent's undeniable.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player, but it's really just going to come down to the fact that like he really needs to keep himself healthy.
Yeah, it's the
Like
Kyler
he
Gordon
needs
situation.
Yeah, he needs to keep his brain intact. He needs to
For
really just
himself,
like
of course, as well.
yeah, and just like he's got to visit with doctors in the off season. He's got to kind of prove that like, hey, I can keep my brain healthy. I can keep myself healthy. I can go about the season and not be in like a bad spot constantly, which I really just think is his biggest problem.
Yeah. I mean, the talent's not the problem. We've known this. The talent is undeniable. There's a reason he was drafted as high as he was in that 2022 draft. The
Yeah.
talent is obviously there. He's a good player. We know that. The problem is, can he be healthy? We don't want another Kyler Gordon situation where we give him a 3 to 4 year extension. We pay him top dollar too, and then we see him 4 or 5 games a year. We were lucky enough to probably have him, I think, all games this year, if not missing one. But of course, it comes down to the same situation. Can he stay healthy? How long would you keep him for, Ronan, if we were to offer him a short term deal?
2 years at most.
How much
Yeah.
would you be willing to pay him?
2 years, 22 mil. I'd pay him what he wants.
Yeah.
Just not for as long as he wants.
Yeah, I think I would pay him top 10 safety money, which would be like that 10, 11 mil range a year. Because that's technically what it would
Yeah,
be.
but like I try to get him down and be like, hey, we can backload it a little bit. But
Okay.
we'll
I say
see.
incentivize it for sure. You have
Mhm.
to play a certain amount of games to reach this amount of money. If you're able to play this whole year consistently without, these injuries or hurting yourself or even getting like, fights on the field, because we know he can be a little bit of a hothead sometimes,
Yeah.
right? If he can do that, then I say incentivize that contract for him because he's good. We want him here, and he's young. He's only 25 years old. You have him for another 5, 6 years if he's able to stay healthy, Ronan.
Mhm.
So, what do you imagine the Bears doing? Because we give our opinion, but it's a really difficult situation. Put yourself in Ryan Poe's shoe.
Yeah, it's just weird because I really don't feel like he's gonna get re-signed.
I,
I feel
I, I
like
think I
I
agree.
feel like we want him to get re-signed, but it's just probably not gonna
It's
happen.
either him or Bard, I think, is what they're thinking right now.
Yeah, and Byard's just outperformed him.
He's
But
he's an all pro.
yeah, because when we had Brisker and it was just Brisker,
Yeah,
he was kind of that main guy. He wasn't
excelled.
really cutting it, and so that's where it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like we could totally upgrade in
Mm.
this draft, but I just think the biggest concern is like what happens after Byard. Is this like the win now year? What are we gonna do with it? It's weird, man.
It is a weird situation because here's the thing. If we do extend Bard, he's not getting any younger. I say we probably give him another 2-year deal. He's most likely going to retire with the Bears. If not, it's not like a 1-year deal with the Titans or whatever, the team that he started with. Regardless at that point, he's still going to be with the Bears most likely if we do opt to keep him. But of course, that comes with his repercussions. We keep him. What's after him? You can't really go in on a safety to be your like, all right, we have to go all in now. I
Yeah,
think you get
yeah.
the best 2 years out of him by either keeping Brisker or putting another young guy next to him. But that also poses the question: if youth is your like key to that, because we know Poles likes to build through the draft.
Mhm.
Well, then at that point, do you keep Brisker because he's youthful, and maybe keep Byard for another 2 years, and then look again to replace Byard? But what if those 2 years down the line, we have to replace both of them again because Brisker can't stay healthy and Byard's retiring? Now you're in a tougher situation. So, kind of, what do you prefer to happen there, Ronan? Because it is such a weird spot to be in.
I would want to stick with the youth. That's just something where like you want to stay a young team and you want to stay like I don't know. It's that's actually a really good question.
It's tough because Byard is good.
Yeah.
He's a first team All Pro
Okay.
safety.
Okay, here's my resolution. Keep Byard, draft a safety in the second or third,
Okay, and
and
there's good
then
safeties this
let
year.
Byard go. Or like or here's how's this sound. Keep Byard, keep Brisker, but keep Byard on a 1 year to 2 year deal.
I agree.
Keep Brisker on a 2 year deal. Draft a guy, and then eventually just kind of fizzle out the both of them, kind of have them swap out roles,
Mhm.
and then you see.
I like that a lot. I've been thinking about that for a while. Funny enough, I wanted that to be the plan last year
Yeah.
because Byard's contract was going to expire. I've been knowing that, and I didn't anticipate him playing that well. But I wanted to get a safety to replace Byard, or at least be a rotational guy to get him in, and we didn't address that at all.
No.
And I guess maybe their plan of action could be Chauncey, but Chauncey's 27. So do you really want to invest that much money in a secondary right now when the pieces aren't all the way there? I really wouldn't. That was my deal. For me personally, I would have to go with that route as well, Ronan. I think you keep both. Both have to get a 2-year deal. I think they cannot be major long-term deals. You can probably keep Byard for cheap. I'm pretty sure he'd be okay with that as a team guy. Maybe give him a little bit more money because of that year he had. But keep him 2 years. Keep him when he's 35. Let him, fizzle out, retire on a good note, hopefully with a Super Bowl, right?
Mhm.
And then keep Brisker again. And if Brisker played himself into another contract, I say give him another 2-3 year deal. Let him stay until he's 30, 31, and then get that young guy in that role, which is a lot of people have been giving us Daniel Tillbaum, I believe is his name, out of Oregon. Let him kind of step into that role that where Byard was in. Then I'd be okay with what happens there.
We got to
But
do more draft research.
yeah, we just need a little bit more research. I know his name. He has a hard last name to pronounce,
Yeah.
and it's weird. But you have to eventually, at the very least, get a replacement for Kevin Byard. Brisker is a little bit different just because he is younger and you can do something else with him. But Byard is 31, 32. It's not going to be easy. You have to come away with a safety this year. And I'm not talking about a fifth, sixth, or even seventh round safety, or even a UDFA, right? Maybe get in there to compete, but you have to get a higher round guy because that is going to be a position of need, right, Ronan? We know that already. Now, let me throw you a scenario before we jump into the next topic. What if we let both go? What if Pose is like, you know what? We're already paying Jalen. We're paying Kyler, right? Now we're going to have to pay 2 safeties. I really cannot afford that. What do you do now?
I would not want that. That is probably the
You,
last.
you
thing
do
that I
realize
would
that's very possible.
I know it is, and that's scary, but we just gotta see, man.
It's so
Like,
scary. Like people don't understand. They like, oh, it's the dead time. It's the off season. This stuff is important as equal as it is to the regular season. You have stuff like this that keeps people up at night because That's worst case scenario. You have to keep one or the other. You let both walk. I mean, I think I would have rather just traded Brisker at the deadline for something because you cannot let both go away, Ronan. So if we do let both go away because he's already invested a lot in those guys, would he be? And I know we're not re-signing Nashon. There's no way they keep him, especially with those two other
Never
guys.
say never.
Me personally, I would not be okay with that. I just think you have to invest somewhere else. What if he says I want both of them going and I want Chauncey to stay? What do you do in that situation now?
You want both of them gone.
Yeah, he lets Brisker and Bard walk for nothing. He just says, "You guys done a great job. We love you here. We just think that we cannot get you for the price point that we want because Chauncey's willing to take less money because he is technically on a prove it kind of arc right now of the teams he's been released from."
If he does that, I might storm Hallis Hall.
Okay.
That's a really dumb decision.
I agree.
I would not want him to do that.
And I love Chauncey, but I think he plays better in that hybrid multiple safety role.
Like,
he was at his best whenever he was healthy.
Keep CJ.
Yeah,
'cause
for
he's
sure.
good, but like kind of rotate him in at the nickel, especially when
Yeah.
Kyler's injured. You know, like
That's where he's been best at.
yeah, just kind of rotate him in. Like let Kyler just be a corner.
Yeah.
I don't really think that Kyler needs to be that like blitzing guy. But,
Yeah, he doesn't have to be every single time.
it's what it is.
We're going to see. And it's crazy. We won't find out until mid-March. So we got about another month or so before we figure out what's happening. And speaking about another month or so, that's also when free agency will open up. And we're already on the topic of re-signing and other such. However, the Trey Hendrickson rumors are really heating up. A lot of media outlets, CBS, NFL, 33rd Team, etc., are all giving us Trey Hendrickson predictions. They're predicting that they bring him back to the Bears, reunite him with Dennis Allen because he was with them in 2017 and up, plus the obvious need at edge. You brought it up before, Ronan. You brought up how you'd be okay with it and how you would honestly prefer him over Crosby due to the price point. I want you to elaborate heavily on this and kind of your opinion on bringing him in.
Yeah, I just like the connection. I think that's going to be a big thing. The Bengals aren't going to win anything, but we have seen there are rumblings that they could franchise tag him.
Yep, don't want that.
That could be a problem.
There's a chance he sits out.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't trade for him at that point, though.
Yeah, and then it'd just be like, you guys are going to waste money doing that crap. Like, why? Like, why? I don't know, man.
It's a weird situation, but would you want him here is the question.
Yes, I would want him here 100%. You get his best last 3 years out of him.
Absolutely.
You pay him like 3 years, $31 million, and you give him what he wants. Like we could get him for $3.
We can get him for cheap for sure.
Yeah.
Not necessarily really cheap, but I think you can get him
cheap.
for a top 12 contract if you really wanted to, as long as it's not like 30 mil per year.
As long as he produces, man, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think I would give him a 1-year deal, but more so. Hold on, let me speak. 3-year deal, but it's technically a 1-year deal with 2 void years. So let's just say that he plays really good this first year, we can keep him the second. Or if he plays really bad that first year, we can let him go after the second year. It's really interesting. So he kind of has to play himself into that contract. He's going to get paid if he plays out that contract, but if not, he gets voided out those years. He loses money. We don't lose money. So it's a win-win for the Bears. The problem is we don't know if he would undersign that. If we say, hey, we're going to give you a void contract, he might be like, whoa. Why am I getting a void contract? Do you not believe in my ability? And then it'll be the same thing as the Bengals again. Now, another thing I'm afraid of is overpaying for Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
I do like him. We know what he's capable of. We know what he has to offer. We've seen it. I mean, that Super Bowl run with him and Sam Hubbard, he works best with another good edge on the other side of him, a.k.a. Montez Sweat.
Where did Hubbard go?
He retired. Yeah. Ohio State legend, by the way. Montez Sweat, he's good, but he needs another guy to truly flourish. And I feel like both of them will complement each other so very well.
Plus Booker.
Plus the, occasional guy we're going to get in there depending on whoever we draft.
Dio.
Yeah, he's going to probably stay.
They're going to probably play his contract out.
We're going to find out. They just have to. We paid him too much money. We'll lose too much if we cut him.
Yeah.
But I would love the way both of them will fit in that scheme. The problem is we're paying Montez $25 million a year, and I really don't want to pay Trey another $25 million a year. Then now we're kind of in like, okay, we're in the purgatory of edge rushers where now they're producing and we're paying them a lot of money. That's my biggest fear, Ronan. So that's why I asked for your opinion about that. What you think may be the best option here, because The way it's looking right now, Trey seems interested, and all these outlets got to know something that maybe the Bears are feeling all in on getting him.
Yeah, I feel like it's just the easy option for them, which is a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
You don't
They're
really
tired of
want.
the easy stuff.
Yeah, like I don't want us to go easy because that's how we ended up with Dio. That's how we
Mhm.
ended up with like Booker, who's good, but
And
like
it's not a
that's
game
how
wrecker.
that's how we ended up with Sweat and Joe
Mhm.
Tyron Shoyinka and all these different guys, and it's like, no man, like I don't
For
want easy. Oh,
once.
excuse me, I'm burping in the mic. I'm going against RDSC
Yeah,
rules.
God.
Fire me into the sun, but. Yeah, I don't want the easy option. I want us to swing hard for the qualified guy, which is Max Crosby,
Yeah,
and also put in an offer for Trey Hendrickson and just see where we can land.
absolutely.
Because I don't get why all of these big teams would need Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Like I really don't. Like the
With the Eagles.
Patriots, yeah, the Eagles, the Patriots, the Seahawks, like who else were they saying
Those
was
are the
going to
big
trade?
three.
Like
There's others, but those are like the major three.
I just think it's ridiculous. It's so unnecessary and like, come on.
And it's like they don't need him, and let alone can afford him either.
Yeah, no, you can't afford me.
Yeah, well, they really can. The Eagles really don't have much money to work with to begin with. They're barely over the cap, and they don't have much room to restructure anybody. And it's a difficult situation to be in. So you got to find out what's going to happen here. And like you mentioned, I'm so tired of the easy route every single offseason when it comes to the defense. It feels like we can't have both things at the same time. Bears finally get a good offense, and I mean top 3 ranked offense. But guess what? Terrible defense. When you get an absolute elite defense, terrible offense. It just happens. And the thing is, you don't need an elite defense with the Bears. Our offense is capable enough to win us games that you don't need a top 5 defense, top 3 defense. At the bare min, you need at least a top 10 defense. A defense that's going to apply pressure, right? Make sure they get to the quarterback, whether that's sacks pressure, making them do errant throws, or even just be good on run defense, man. Our run defense was abysmal.
Just holding the quarterback, man. Like
Yeah,
pressure. If you can
that's
get
all you
pressure,
need.
you can win games.
And people
That's
don't
all they
understand
tell
it
you.
always starts with up front. There's a reason they say you win and you lose games in the trenches. If you're able to get pressure immediately, then guess what? The A and B gaps will finally get filled because it seems like they never get filled. They always miss their assignments,
Yeah.
right? Then the linebackers look better. The secondary looks better because they're not having to cover for 5 seconds every single play. Yes, they got beat a lot, but it surely doesn't help that your pass rushers are a beat up Montez Sweat, Dio, and Dominique Robinson, and the occasional Austin Booker when he was around the second half of the season. It just does not help. Your cornerback room can be as good as possible. Your safety room can be as good as possible. Hell, even your linebacker room. But it won't make a difference if the quarterback has all day to scan the field, players to run back, and to get open. It would never work that way.
That's how we let the Bengals almost beat us.
Right. Joe
right?
Flacco had all day.
Yeah, like letting Joe Flacco, an immobile quarterback, in a
Maneuver.
league where like half of these guys that are coming off the edge are basically like they could be playing quarterback.
Yeah.
So, it's unacceptable. They have to like we got to find something, man. Like something that's either Max Crosby or Trey
The
Hendrickson.
change has to be made. Absolutely. But we'll be right back here, guys, on Bear Down Breakdown. We're going to come back with some more Trey Hendrickson talk and there's some potential week 1 talk here in RDSE.
Hey, that's one nice new bike, Josie.
Yeah, birthday present. Ride's really smooth too. Oh, and I see you finally got a new helmet.
I did. Bought it cheap online.
Love those side wings.
Hey, you hungry?
Yeah, I'm starving and need some water too.
Okay, follow me. We'll turn off here.
Let me help you.
Hey, watch the cars. They can be crazy.
Oh.
I called 911. They should be here soon.
Was this young man hit by a car?
Yes, and I'm concerned because his helmet is smashed and cracked open.
It's a brand new helmet.
It's probably a fake.
Please help him.
Fakes cause real harm. You're smart. Buy smart.
Go for real.
Brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council and the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
My champion, realize checks mechanism. Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal Parade. This is not your normal PSA. Don't be stupid. Don't drink and drive. If you're going to go out and have a good time, it's fine. But designate a driver to drive home. Let's stop the madness. Don't drink and drive.
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can't. You can't. Jump.
Reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
And welcome back, everybody, to Bear Down Breakdown, Season 3, Episode 8. I am your host, Gustavo Arriaga, joined by... We are back after our ad break. And before ad, we did mention Trey Hendrickson. Just to wrap things up, he is an important key because we've always said trenches are where games are won. And your secondary looks so much better when the quarterback is scrambling to make a throw. I mean, what I think of, if you remember that Will Levis game where he was cooking us in the first half and we finally put pressure on him, and guess what? Started winning games, started playing better.
Will Levis also.
Well, that too. But it's the fact that he was cooking us in the beginning. You have to be able to apply some sort of pressure. It doesn't have to be every single time around. But if the pocket is decreasing every minute now, I mean, you got it, right? You're able to go in and make them feel uncomfortable and make tough throws. And I feel like that's just the key to success. I'm sure you'll agree, Ronan.
Yeah. I mean, it's all pressure. You got to, like, I feel like we've droned on about this for weeks now. It's pressure, 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 pressure. You got to get it done. Like, we got to do that. But
yeah,
what's next?
Yeah, the most important one. We've got some really interesting news. I was doing a little bit of research when I did the notes, and interesting news because as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, the Seahawks are the champs. And as everybody knows, the Super Bowl champs always kick off the season. They always open up the season. Well, the Chicago Bears are candidates to play the Seahawks on opening night in Seattle, which is really interesting that they would put the Bears on a big-time stage because they saw what we were capable of. We were 3 points away from really making the NFC Championship game to play against who? The Seattle Seahawks. So maybe the NFL was like, hey, we missed out on the opportunity when, that blunder happened at the end with the DJ Moore, yada, yada. We don't want to relive that, right? They might be like, well, we want to see that. The NFL might want to see that. You have really,
I want to see that.
I want to see that. You have a really firepower-heavy offense against a really good Mike McDonald defense. Who would not want that? And it appears to be a very hot candidate. And in front of the whole world, I feel like it'd be massive for the Bears, able to pull off that massive upset. That sets the tone for the season. But like we mentioned, the Bears have terrible Week 1 record. Couldn't beat, for the life of us, the Vikings for Week 1. Don't know how we beat the Titans that one year. And besides that, we've lost like every single game in Week 1. So history wouldn't be boding well on our side, Ronan.
No.
However, what would be your thoughts on us playing them Week 1 and the likelihood of winning?
It's just an interesting matchup, but it really is going to depend on how they handle free agency. They're losing like who? Quandre Diggs,
Quandre, Tariq Woolen.
They already lost Diggs, didn't they?
He's probably going to retire now.
I was meaning Woolen.
Yeah, Woolen's definitely gone. There's no way they resign him after that blunder, if you remember specifically in that game.
Yeah, and then they have to figure out the contract situation with Walker. I just think that's one of those things where I don't think they repeat. I think,
I think they get close.
Yeah, stronger candidates are going to come along, and some teams are really going to start to put it together. I think we are going to be one of those teams. I think the Panthers are going to be one of those teams, especially because, the Panthers are just like literally a piece away.
Yeah, they're doing really good, man.
Close. If they get George Pickens, that would be
It'd be massive. They're saying maybe Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah, Romeo Dobbs being a Panther, like that'd be really interesting,
It'd be
especially
great.
for those guys.
Yeah,
You know,
I think they'd benefit.
I would like that for Carolina. They deserve it.
Yeah, I
Seeing
think it
little
works.
Short Bryce Young, who's only like 2 inches shorter than me, out there. That's yeah, you know, it's
He's
like
making it happen.
short pride, you know.
Yeah, short kings.
Yeah.
Well, I will mention that Kenneth Walker, Boye Moffitt, one of the pretty good edge rushers, Tariq Woolen, Kobe Bryant, Rashid Shaheed, and Josh Jobe, they're all free agents. They all need contracts.
That's not really like significant enough either.
I
them
mean,
to lose out on their core guys.
I think, well, for us, it'd be whatever, but I'm saying for them. I mean, Kenneth Walker is probably going to stay, but Shaheed's been really good for them.
Did Cooper Kupp retire?
No, nothing yet. We won't know
No?
yet. I don't think he's going to announce it yet. They're saying that they might see what they can do with Walker, especially with Charbonnet, but I highly doubt they allow that. Josh Job's been pretty good for them. They might keep him. He was playing better, arguably, than Tariq Woolen. So we're going to see how it bodes well. If free agency is just a mess for them and they just worry about extending their core guys, maybe there's something there, right?
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the likelihood of us winning, what would you think it'd be, especially with the way history has swung?
Obviously, in the Super Bowl.
Well, just in general, starting that game off and going there, because we do have technically, according to the NFL, the hardest schedule in the league, and there's a chance it starts off with Seattle.
It's just, you know, it's an uphill battle. It's going to have to be an uphill battle, and I don't mind it being an uphill battle. I think this is the year we prove it to everybody. We are here. We're legit. We're not like the Patriots with their fluke schedule.
Dude,
we're not
Josh,
like
Josh Stidham.
yeah,
Or Jarrett,
you know,
whatever
like
his name is.
Jared Stidham. Well, he's on the who is it? No,
Broncos.
That's Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
He's on the.
He's on the Patriots, isn't he? No, that dude's on the
No,
Cardinals.
He's on the
I
Cardinals.
keep forgetting.
They believe in him. I don't know.
Yeah.
why, but like Drake May, after his fluke season, that just proves that like we can do it, man.
It's possible.
Like Caleb's better than May. We
We've
all
had
know
this, yep.
that. Like, you know, sorry to rage bait you. Blah, 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 blah.
The fans are not going to like it.
Yeah,
Shout out Henry for making those clips, too.
Yeah, Henry's been rage baiting people. Thank you.
It's working.
He's making me look like a dingus, but behind the scenes, he's stirring the pot. He's like,
Henry's instigating for us. Shout out to producer Henry.
nah, but it gets us good views. But at the end of the day, I think that this schedule is going to be one of those things that is good. It's challenging. We need a challenge.
Exactly.
We're at the point where if we can get ourselves to a place where we can compete, I say do it. I say
Yeah.
compete. Like, come on.
Make it happen.
Why not compete?
Yeah, I
Why
mean,
not?
you got it now. Caleb's in his third year, right? You have everything clicking, and your pieces are still there. And guess what? Your best pieces are young.
Yeah.
It's not like where you're the Commanders, where all your good pieces are. Guess what? They're old.
Yeah, they're
Terry's
old.
old. Debo's old.
Unks.
Even Jaden Daniels was an older rookie when he entered the draft. He's already 25.
And the same with the Rams too, pretty much like that piece with Devontae Adams, you know, Stafford. Like who's gonna succeed Stafford?
Yeah, we don't know. Luckily, he said he's staying this year, but who's behind
Yeah,
Stafford?
but they're probably gonna have to draft somebody.
Yeah, they're going to prepare to succeed Stafford. Puka's the young, Kyron, Rob Havenstein, they're starting left tackle,
Havenstein's
retired.
gone.
The thing is, these older teams, at some point, they're going to burn out. While the Bears are still really young, our alleged rivals, you know, the fake rivalry the Commander fans made, say that, you know, they're going to keep getting better next year. Bobby Wagner's not getting in here. He's terrible, right? Terry McLaurin barely played. He's got paid. All of a sudden, he doesn't know how to, you know, be healthy no more. Deebo Samuel's probably gone. He's terrible. Krosky Merritt, who knows what they do with him. Their O-line sucks. And then they have an unproven offensive coordinator. And what's his name? David Blau, the old quarterback for the Lions. I mean, you know, the NFC is pretty wide open right now, right? Outside of maybe two teams, the Rams, of course, and the Seahawks, I really don't see another team that's as competitive.
But I think it's gonna be another bloodbath this
Oh,
year.
absolutely.
It's really gonna be
Especially in the
another
NFC North.
bloodbath where yes, but I don't know.
I could see it because now that the Vikings fired their terrible GM, they could make some decent moves. Yeah.
Who are they gonna hire?
I think they're looking for the Broncos assistant GM.
I guess so.
But you know, the whole NFC North might be a good thing. We can't beat the Lions for somehow. I don't know how.
We'll beat the Lions.
I mean, it appears like we can't right now, but whatever. We made the playoffs. They didn't.
They have the Ben Johnson playbook, and once he takes the offseason to switch it up, we'll be fine.
He'll be okay. Ben Johnson's unbelievably smart. And then they hired Drew Petzing, the Cardinals OC. I mean, come on, dude. It'll be okay.
It's ridiculous.
It'll be okay. It's just that it's always a bloodbath, you know. And then we have the quote unquote hardest schedule. Don't really know where that comes from because looking at it,
Fake news schedule.
it's not hard. When I look at it, like there's 2, 3, maybe 4 good teams. We play the Patriots at home. Everybody's freaking out about it. Dude, the Patriots are not that good. You saw who they played. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
We also have the Seattle away. We got the Bills, the Rams. We have the, the
Drake May
occasional good
just-
teams.
The thing about Drake May is he just flounders under that big light.
Yeah.
Like the AFC
And that's the thing with Caleb.
game.
He's not like that. Caleb thrives under hard pressure situations.
Yeah, that fourth quarter Iceman. Like, if that was him in the Super Bowl, that would have been a gun show.
Oh yeah, it would have been flying. The thing is with May, the hard moments aren't built up for him yet. Maybe it will
He just
develop.
hasn't been in them. Like
Yeah.
at North Carolina, like, when he's getting sacked all the time.
Mhm.
And then I think, honestly, if Caleb was in the same spot this year in the Super Bowl, I don't think he would have done as well. I think we do need those pieces.
I agree.
And, like, their defense just did not come to play. Like, they
Yeah.
were just getting dunked on. Like, we left to go and, like, get hibachi halfway through. And I was like, oh, my God.
What was going on? Yeah, I
It
mean,
just stunk.
it is bad. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it too. Drake May, I will give him, his respect and all that. He did play good, right? We're not going to deny that. Definitely better than Jaden Daniels. We'll say that. He plays well, and I like the potential with him. But there's a reason that Caleb was a number 1 overall pick. His ceiling is out of the world. There's NFL quarterbacks, D linemen, Hall of Famers saying that they've never seen anybody make throws that Caleb has made. When it comes to clutch, high pressure moments, these hero ball moments, Caleb just flourishes. Whereas when you see that with May, I mean, like he's like a fish out of water, just flopping
Yeah.
around. He just does not come up when it's necessary.
He doesn't know what to do.
No, and I understand the pressure was not good in that Super Bowl, but at some point you got to stop holding the ball that long, right? You got to escape the pocket like Caleb has done, evade the pressure, have better pocket presence, and I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, if Caleb was in that situation, no. If he's a so-called MVP that Stafford robbed him of, then you go out there and make the same plays that Stafford did, because that's the same defense that Matthew Stafford played 3 times this year, beat once, barely lost the second time, and nearly beat them the third time around. If that's the so-called MVP, why couldn't he replicate Stafford's thing? So I feel that criticism for Drake May is fair, because Caleb definitely would have excelled in that, because his pocket presence and his sack evasion is second to none.
Yeah, he's just like, he has so many intangibles that
You
just
can't teach.
Yeah, you can't teach what Caleb has, and just his intuition and just the way that he plays. Like, you can't teach that.
Yeah, he's so smart with the ball too, right? He just knows where his guys are. He has a knack for finding his guys. That's the thing, right? Like, I could have never told you that Cole Kmet was in the back of that end zone. The fact that he was able to flip his hips around, set his feet with 4 people in front of him, and deliver that ball 50 yards in the air perfectly in the corner of the end zone. He just has a knack for his guys, man. It's insanity.
Well, it's also just like knowing your personnel. And
Exactly.
knowing where people are going to be, and being able to like predict, like, okay, I'm going to throw this over to this guy, and he has to be
In that area.
Yeah, like in that area.
Exactly.
At all times.
Shout out Ben Johnson too, because he
Benny
probably has
J.
done a great job with that. And then people want to blame picks on him, but if you remember looking at those plays, Caleb knows where your guys are going. He knew where DJ Moore was going to run his route. He didn't run his route. Luther Bird in that one pick against the Packers, he ran a go route instead of a post route. Caleb knows where his guys are. And guess what? He knew where Cole Kmet was going to be. That's why he was so comfortable uncorking that pass, because he said, my guy's down there. I have my knack for my guys. I'm going to make this play. And it happened. That's what you have when you have Caleb Williams, and that's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Exactly.
Playmaker.
There's guys that will have you to a high ceiling, but not enough to push you over that Super Bowl, right? But there's guys that are out there that are really, really good, just need a little bit more work, but that that can win you a Super Bowl. Hence, Caleb Williams, right? There's a lot of trust with his coaching staff and the fan base with Caleb, because they know what he's capable of.
That's very true.
Right? And of course, talking about capable of, we need to start saving some money here. Ronan, go ahead into the next segment right here with our players.
Story of my life, saving money here.
Ah.
We got some really big decisions we got to make.
Yeah.
About players, about cap, about who's going to stay, who's going to go. Who do we want to keep? Who do we want to let go?
Restructure as
So
well.
we'll go through a few names here that we could probably restructure. We got DJ Moore, who's getting paid $28.5 million. Montez Sweat, who's getting 25.08.
Like we alluded to.
Jalen Johnson getting 24.5. Tooney, who's getting 21.5.
Well deserved, though. I will say that.
Yeah, very well deserved. Dio, who's getting 20, which
Oh
is
my God.
like, oh my gosh, can we just demote him to
Jesus.
$5 million? a year?
Yeah.
Like, get out of here. Jonah Jackson, who's getting 19.5.
Deserved as well.
Yeah, deserved. Grady Jarrett, who's getting 18.92.
Good, but not that good.
Yeah, and then Edmonds, who's getting 17.43.
That's the big one.
That's the big one that we got to get rid of. Like, Edmonds, I think we could cut.
Yeah.
Jackson,
DeMarco Jackson, yes.
Yeah. He's just one of those guys that
He stepped up.
He stepped up. He knows the personnel. He knows how to play in those big moments. And honestly, I really do think that, Jackson is going to be one of those guys that we could lean on. Keep the green dot on what's his face?
DeMarco TJ.
On TJ.
Yeah.
And then, just ride with it.
Yeah, and I mean, like we mentioned too, not all of those players will receive contract restructures. We know that. But Poles could deem some of them expendable, especially if he's willing to part ways with them. Because if a team is like, hey, if you give me this player, we'll toss you this pick. And if he knows he can flip that for something else, I don't know why Poles wouldn't do it. We know how he feels.
Maybe even trade Tremaine for like a third or a fourth.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay with that. If we have to cut
they
him.
probably wouldn't bite with that contract.
No, I mean, we understand why. But, you can move forward by either cutting them, trading them. But the important thing is that while Chicago does appear to be in cap trouble, there is good news. There is never the case for the Bears because we actually are top 5 in the ability to almost be at $90 million depending on certain moves and cap restructure. So this offseason, even if we're not going to go full offseason champs again like every season, still expect the Bears to have a lot of moves done to free up cap space, bring players in, but also, potentially make a big splash if it's deemed, acceptable at that point, depending on the return he gets for some of these guys. And like you mentioned as well, a big name as well, Tremaine Edmonds. They're saying that he's more than likely going to be cut because nobody wants that contract. What would be your thoughts, Ronan? Because he is a fan favorite. He started in Chicago. He's been pretty good. He had his best year yet with Chicago. I mean, it's a difficult situation. As a former linebacker, what would you do, man?
Former linebacker. I just think, to start, it's definitely one of those positions where you're a playoff team already. You're going to be top 5 in cap, or you can be.
Yep.
And, it's just, there's so many opportunities. There's so many ways.
And players like DeMario Davis.
Yeah, like DeMario Davis is going to be a free agent. I personally wouldn't splurge on him unless it's, a
decent
good
deal.
But, there's a lot of ways that you can, get this offseason right. And I really do think that it's just going to come down to how we spend our money and how we manage our money. And I think I would say cut Tremaine. He's been good, but he just hasn't been good enough. And we need good enough.
Yeah. He's been good, but the problem is he's had his injury concerns in the past, right? And he's making a lot of money that we can't really afford right now.
Yeah.
He was making a lot last offseason, but we allowed it because they knew what he was capable of and what we could have used him for. But of course, the problem is, do we do it? Are we in a position that, hey, we can let you go and still be okay? And I think that we are, because like we've said over and over again, sound like a broken record now, but it's true. The pressure is the most important part of a defense. I mean, you've seen Seattle. Their defense is good, but guess what? It really starts from up front, and that secondary benefited from it. And when you're able to cut Tremaine and use that money to bring in guys like Trey Hendrickson or maybe Max Crosby, DeMario Davis, a couple other guys, everything changes. Then at that point, you're like, you know what? I'm glad we did that move because we benefited heavily. But we'll be right back here, guys, on Bear Down Breakdown. Don't be anywhere. We got a lot of good stuff coming in, especially with draft prospects here on Bear Down Breakdown.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there.
You can say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You could write them a text or knit them a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write them a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. Good chat on the game, kick off your flip flops. You can ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again. Whatever gets you started. Whatever gets you started.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the JED Foundation.
Johnson, what was that? You let him blow past right by you.
But did we cover the spread, coach?
They weren't running a spread offense.
Nah, I mean the point spread. I bet on us to cover the spread at 12.5 points. Well, between you and me, coach, I got a good 6-leg parlay I want here. I'm due to earn over 60,000 big one.
Well, your parlay wasn't part of the game plan. Now get your butt on the bench. Johnson may have not stuck to the game plan, but you can stick to yours if you plan on sports betting. It's just 3 simple steps. Set your limit, bet what you can afford, and track your bets. Like any form of gambling, sports betting is supposed to be fun. And sticking to your game plans can be the difference between enjoying the game like these guys or ending up like Johnson.
Suspension? Why? I bet on my team to win.
This message is brought to you by Radio DePaul Sports, the student voice of your blue demons.
You're not wired to have a response to this sound. You're neutral to it. You hear it every time you finish a meal and never feel anything. But if we were able to associate this sound with a new stimulus, save the food, we've achieved pulling a natural response from you. Save the food. Why are we doing this, you may ask? Save the food, because this ad is trying to change your after-meal behavior through brainwashing, because food waste costs the average family $1,500 a year. Save the food, cha-ching, and $1,500 extra bucks is like getting a pay raise. Save the food, cha-ching, you're promoted, which could pay for your child's braces. Save the food, cha-ching, you're promoted.
Check out my braces.
So when you hear this sound, rethink your behavior. Cook it, store it, share it. Just don't waste it. For tips and recipes, visit SaveTheFood.com. Brought to you by NRDC and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager, victim to fake pills bought from social media. This doesn't seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. So listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
And welcome back, everybody, to Bear Down Breakdown. I am your host, Gustavo Arriaga, here by
Ronan Clark.
the one and only Ronan Andrew Clark. Yet an eventful morning this day, I'm sure. Here on Season 3, Episode 8. I love to see it, Mr. Military Man. Now, on top of eventful, let's talk about the NFL Draft, all right? We have some potential prospects. But like we mentioned, if the Bears do not give up their first round picks, whether that's for Crosby, another guy, etc., the edge class isn't very deep or great outside of Ruben Bain, and we are not in any near position to take him because he's most likely a top 7 pick, I'd say, if we're lucky. Now, I don't expect the Bears to trade up either. That's completely out of the picture. We officially sit at 25 in the draft. They're all really good experimental guys, but are we in the phase of taking experimental guys, Ronan?
No.
You wouldn't be willing to.
I would say, pick for the exact need. If
Mm.
we go out.
EPA?
Yeah, best player available like we did last year, get a Colston Loveland again. We don't need that kind of guy on offense, but like if there's a good corner, maybe
I'd be
get
okay
him,
with
good
that.
safety. Caleb Downs isn't going to be there, but if you can get if you can just get somebody that's good and is going to fill a slot and is going to, just do what we need to do so
Mhm.
then we can get to the Super Bowl this season. I'm like, sure, let's do it.
I'd be all in. A lot of reports have us taking this guy out of Auburn. We got to do some better draft knowledge because I keep forgetting his name. I'm not totally well versed. You got to forgive me, Ronan.
I got to take this weekend to study up.
Yeah,
on the
we're gonna
draft.
study on the draft for you guys. Don't worry. We always bring the best stuff up here, but they like him, and the Bears I think have met with him. If I'm not mistaken. But the problem is he has really good prototypical edge size. He's 6'6", like 280. But the problem is he feels like another Dio, really lanky, really good, really nice in the run, but he needs help pressuring the quarterback. Dio was okay in the run, not great at pressuring the quarterback.
It's
And
just
you
like-
have enough of those guys.
It's like with Booker too, where Booker is great and all, but he needs that other guy to like put him over the edge.
Yeah.
And to really like push him to beyond where he needs to go.
Mhm.
And I think that's like, that's kind of how it was with Leonard Floyd and Khalil Mack, like with Robert Quinn and all those other guys that we were
Robert
playing.
Quinn.
Robert Quinn, Puerto Rican Bobby.
Yeah.
That's his Instagram. Just like that kind of thing where you kind of need that boost. And we
Yeah.
thought Montez was it, and he's not.
Was
And
for like
so-
about half the season.
Yeah. So we just got to figure it out this offseason.
Yeah, we absolutely do. I mean, I'd be okay trying to take an edge rusher if you feel very confident in him, especially if you were to get a guy like Trey Hendrickson, then maybe he would flourish under him because now you have Trey, there's an experimental guy, Dio, unfortunately, Booker, and Montez. Now you got a little bit of something there. You can do some inside-outside flexibility, maybe switch up to a 3-4, 4-3
Stop
solid
Dio
defense.
hate.
Yeah, stop Dio hate. We got to get him out of here, man. It's interesting because what really can you do? Because the edge class is not that great. That's the one thing I am well versed in. It is not great outside of Ruben Bain and maybe like another guy inside like Peter Woods and a couple other folks on the interior side. But those really good guys are going in the top 15, and we're not in that remote position anymore, which I'm glad. Thank God we're out of that purgatory of good roster, but never good enough to get us outside of those picks and be competitive enough. Now we are in that realm. Problem is, now the players that we want to draft are going to be taken very highly, and we're not in a position to take them. They're saying that we can get Caden McDonald, another really solid defensive tackle out of OSU. Go Buckeyes. Shout out Ronan Clark. He's doing it now. He's going crazy in the corner. You'll see him. You'll be able to see on the live stream here on X.
Screen over there.
And it's so confusing because we could take him, but I don't really want a D tackle, man. We need edge. Our D tackles can handle it enough.
Well, it just depends because Big Bill wasn't really, he wasn't eating this year.
Yeah, I know he wasn't, but you have other guys for that, man.
Neither was Dex.
Yeah, well, I think that also is granted the whole D line was bad, but Dex, Turner, and Jared, I think they'd be more than fine. The problem is you incorporate another rookie D tackle. You have to try to see what you can get. I won't be mad if we take him, but I won't be overly, excited about him because it's just not really what you necessarily need.
I think it's just gonna again be like a best player available.
It might be. And I'm really hoping there's something on defense. It just can't be offense again. It just cannot. Right, Ronan? It just cannot be offense again.
No, we could take a running back. We could take a.
But there's no good running backs in the taking late first. Unless they really reach, which I would not be a fan of, and I don't think Poles would do that anymore. He's learned his lesson, Velus Jones.
Take a quarterback.
Yeah, God, no. He learned his lesson. So, it's interesting to say we have a couple options there. And there's a really good safety or even linebacker, I would consider taking it. There could be something there. We could see what's going on. There's a lot of really hybrid linebacker D-line guys.
Yeah, grab another Roquan Smith.
I'd be okay with that. But there's another scenario I want to bring up to you, Ronan. Do we consider trading back? That's another thing. Do you want to stockpile picks? Because remember last year when we talked to Swifty, shout out Swifty. I said on day 2, do you see us trading back? And he's like, I could very well see us trading back. And what happened? I called it. We traded back for more picks. Our guy that we didn't want was Travion Henderson. He was there. We didn't take him. Or my bad, the Patriots took him and we couldn't get our hands on him. And Judkins was gone already at that point. So what do? We trade out, and it could be another similar situation where Poles is like, the guys I really wanted that fit my system the best, that Dennis Allen wanted, is gone. Do we consider trading back completely out of the first round or trade back later and to take a safety pretty high up in there, which is what people has been saying for this Dillon guy out of Oregon? What would you do?
That's a tough one. It's really just going to come down to who we sign in the offseason. I think we're looking a little too ahead here.
Of course.
I think we got to really just talk about the free agents at this point because that's really going to determine the draft. But I would say if we don't get any edge in free agency, you're going to have to take an edge.
Yeah, like forced to.
Yeah, you're almost forced to, even if you
Reach.
have to reach.
Yeah.
But if you get Trey Hendrickson, which I don't know, I have hope. I have hope that
I
we
do
can
too.
get him. But yeah, we shall see.
We shall see. Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay with stockpiling picks because we've seen it. Poles was able to get Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson for cheap. I mean, 4th, 5th round picks for either of these guys, right? And they're quality players. He got it for cheap. And I could see some of these picks flip for guys too on expiring contracts or older vets like John Franklin Myers. He's on a very loaded D line with the Broncos, and he's been pretty good everywhere he's been. He was pretty good with the Jets. He was really good with the Broncos. Now we could bring him here. He is on an older end, but guess what? You just need some sort of push, especially if you're able to bring in a guy like Trey Hendrickson. If we're able to stockpile the picks and trade back in the draft, right, you go back in there, you're probably picking at 31 now or something around those lines. Patriots trade up for some odd reason, or whoever team it may be. Even the Rams are saying they might want to trade up for a guy. Then I say you take advantage of that. Get as much as you can from them, 3rd, 4th, maybe a couple, 5th next year. Use that to your leverage and call up teams and be like, hey, this guy's old. You don't really use him. He's on an expiring contract. You probably won't re-sign him. We'll make it worth your time. We'll toss you a 5th-year way, bring him to Chicago, and we've seen it pan out already for the Bears, Ronan. What would you do if that's an option? If a team calls you saying, give us your 4th and 5th, and we'll give you one of our higher quality aging vets, but still good right now for 2-3 years.
For a 4th and a 5th, sure.
You'll do it.
I don't see why not.
Absolutely. And would you be okay with trading back in terms of not drafting players, but using those picks to improve?
No, I would just say best player available.
Even if we have an opportunity.
Fill the gaps unless you can really trade for somebody of significance.
Okay, well, let's just say we're able to stockpile some of those picks for a pretty high-end D lineman. Not necessarily a younger guy, but someone that we can know that can make a difference now. Like they're saying Jeffrey Simmons might be on the chopping block, right? Now, obviously, you won't go for that, but maybe we could toss that as extra Sweden deal. Or a linebacker, or guess what? A safety is not necessarily needed. Like the Cardinals, call them up and see what they want for a Buda Baker. Would you be okay with that?
Well, how old is he?
Buda Baker is, I think, is the same age as Bayard, I believe. Maybe a little bit younger.
No, would want a younger guy.
Well, there's other guys that have Jalen Thompson, another pretty good safety on the other side of him, right? What if they're like, hey, you need a safety. We could really use those picks because we want to fill out this gap on a young developing team. Would you be willing to make that move?
No.
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 Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think you have to make the decision depending on what free agency and what you do. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Just a lot of time. It's just a matter of waiting, right?
We gotta really see how free agency pans out before we start saying this and that.
Absolutely. It's an absolute waiting game. But with that, guys, that'll do it for us here on Season 3, Episode 8 of Bear Down Breakdown. Henry, we appreciate you hosting everything down. Make sure to tune in, guys, on Monday for our Monday Zoom show. It is always posted on YouTube, and our Friday show always on stream, either YouTube or Twitter. We always post it beforehand. Make sure to check it out. Follow us on all handles, Bear Down Breakdown, and we'll see you guys next time.